Okay guys, this is Biggest Blamed Fool in the Jungle of Nool. I'm gonna adjust my camera. There's basically two repeating steps, okay? I wish I could get my feet. Scooch it over here. And more, maybe get further away. All right, now you can see my feet. Okay, so the first step is, I'm going to turn my back to you so you can see my patootie, but no. It's for talking to a speck, talking to a speck, talking to a speck, talking to a speck, to a speck of dust. Okay, that's very fast. So you're going to start with your left foot, and you're going to say talking, and then you step over with your right, to a speck, to a speck of dust. Okay? So it's talking to a speck, talking to a speck, to a speck of dust. Talking to a speck, talking to a speck, to a speck of dust. All right, now I'm going to turn and face you so you can see what my feet are doing. All right, so I'm going to do, you will start on your left, but for the mirror purposes, you're going to say, you're going to step forward, talking to a speck, talking to a speck, to a speck of dust. Talking to a speck, talking to a speck, to a speck of dust. Okay, so that one, that's repetitive. Repeat, 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 repeat. All right, the other one is the biggest blamed fool in the jungle of Nool. All right? Biggest blamed fool in the jungle of Nool. With a little bit of shaking of the boot. Biggest blamed fool in the jungle of Nool. Okay? So I'll face you so you can see what I'm doing. So it's basically, biggest blamed fool in the jungle of Nool. Shake your booty. All right? Biggest blamed fool in the jungle of Nool. Biggest blamed fool in the jungle of Nool. All right? That's it. Every time we say that, okay? But it's your right arm, okay? Biggest blamed fool in the jungle of Nool. So you can throw your hip into it. Biggest blamed fool in the jungle of Nool. Okay? So you can make this as sassy as you want, all right? But everybody's just doing the same thing, right? So, biggest, throw your hip. Biggest blamed fool in the jungle of Nool. No, just add it. All right, so that's all. Those two are the repetitive, repetitive, repetitive. So if we look at the song, the very beginning, we're just watching in character because the sour kangaroo comes in and the young kangaroo. But at the top of 25, when the sour kangaroo, why that speck is as small as the head of a pin. We're just, all the jungle creatures are just kind of doing this bouncy thing with their knees, watching. Okay? All right, so that's what you do. And then, when the sour kangaroo says, you're the biggest blamed fool in the jungle of Nool, and I don't care who I tell, or whatever, that's not the right key. But, so, biggest blamed fool, you know it. Biggest blamed fool in the jungle of Nool. Okay? So again, anytime you hear that. And then go back to the knee bounce when the kangaroo is saying, maybe I'm nasty, maybe I'm cruel, but you're the biggest blamed fool in the jungle of Nool. Okay, so anytime anybody says that, you're doing that. And then you strike your character pose, okay, and you're listening while Horton is kind of have a conversation there. And then on page 27, the Wickershams come swinging in. So you're watching the Wickershams in character, okay? So, if you're just like a bird girl, you're watching just kind of with the music, all right? And then the middle of, that's during that ha, that part. laugh some others, ha, 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 laugh the Wickersham brothers. So when they literally come swinging in, they're going to be jumping around, Horton and stuff. Then you guys are just like, with the music, just jamming, snapping your fingers and wiggling your booty. All right, just enjoying that little bit of song. And then they start singing, oh, he's the biggest blame fool in the jungle of Nool. Okay, and you know the choreography for that. It's always the same. And you just freeze. And monkeys like us should know he. You watching, we've been out on the land looking down. While they're doing all that, you're just like watching them in character, okay? And then at the bottom of 28, everybody goes, elephants, all right? So your arms are like this. Elephants ain't too swift as a rule, but he's the biggest blame fool in the jungle of Nool. Okay? So I'll face you and show you. So it's like this. It's like a, ha, look at me, okay? Elephants, blah, 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 rule, and he's the biggest blame fool in the jungle of Nool. Okay? So you're just the same. And that gets us into page 29, the jazz square, or the talking to a speck. All right? And you remember I showed you what that is, and it's simply talking to a speck, to a speck of dust. Blame fool. Jungle of Nool. Talking to a speck, to a speck of dust. Blame fool, jungle of Nool. Okay? All right, so, but if you're doing it your way, it says left, cross over right, back and forth this way, okay? Biggest blame, no, I'm sorry. Talking to a speck, to a speck of dust. Blame fool, jungle of Nool. All right, because the Wickershams say, blame fool in the jungle of Nool. Okay? All right, at the bottom of that page, the R-E-S-P-E-C-K, so the last talking to a speck, so it's going to be R-E-S-P-E-C-K. Oh, please take that speck away. Okay? So, R-E-S-P-E-C-K. Someone take that speck away. All right? So you're just flipping that arm like that. And then the did you hear, did you hear, did you hear, everybody's doing a different gesture. You're just like, oh, like gossiping. Like, oh, did you hear, did you hear, did you hear, did you hear, oh, did you hear? That kind of thing. And then the cat comes on, bottom of page 30, and does that whole interview thing, and you're just watching the cat in character, paying attention. And then, but anytime somebody says, biggest blame fool in the jungle of Nool, biggest blame fool in the jungle of Nool. That's just the same, okay? When Gertrude's talking, you're leaning in and listening and in character. And then again, blame fool, jungle of Nool. Did you hear, you're gossiping. Same thing. And then talking to a speck, we're up on page 33. When Maisie's talking about, bottom page 32, excuse me, she says, enough about Horton, let's talk about me. You're going to go, let's talk about me. Because she does that. And then we're going to talking to a speck, to a speck of dust. Right? Blame fool in the jungle of Nool. Talking to a speck, to a speck of dust. Blame fool in the jungle of Nool. So again, that's all the same. And then you're going to freeze and look at Horton, because he comes in with his little part on page 34 about, I just have to save them. And then Gertrude joins, a person's a person no matter how. Biggest blamed fool in the jungle of Nool. And then we're going to point at Horton. He's the worst we ever saw. Telling lies, making jokes. Wickersham say it's an elephant hoax. Hands on hips. Brother, that's against the law. Breaking the peace, creating a fuss. Somebody's thinking different than us, the kangaroo says. And then same, biggest blamed fool in the jungle of Nool. And then Nool, in the jungle of Nool, in the jungle. Okay, so it's just the ending. You start with the right. Nool, in the jungle of Nool, in the jungle of Nool. You're coming down, and on that last note of the music, everybody's going to do their arms folded like that. And that is it. Hope that helps. I know it's probably not as clear as it could be, but at least that gives you an idea so that if you missed, and you can look back at it for reference to remember as well. Okay? All right. See you later. Bye.